Hi everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome to this special webinar today talking about investment principles using BaZi. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so I see so many of you here joining this webinar today. Thank you for your support. So let's start this by you actually sharing with me where are you from, right? Just type in the chat box right now, the country you're from so I can get to see you. Okay, all right, wow. All of you here from different parts of the world. That's really good. Okay, nice. Okay, now, are you guys ready? Yeah, about looking at the comment box just now, I see some of you here actually attending this at the middle of the night or early in the morning, and some of you in the middle between your work in the office. Okay, no matter where you are, cool. I think the work can wait for a while. I think the webinar is more important, right? Especially when we talk about investments. And I think all of you here will agree with me when I say that, yeah, you cannot work forever, right? As we get older, right, we have less energy. I think it's very important for us to plan forward by actually make some or do some action that can help us to protect our future. All right. Yes, this is the whole game of winning the game of life, and today we will talk about this part. So, and I also been told that we have a group of new audience here today. Probably this is the first time you are hearing me speak. So, to cater for all of you here, let me just briefly introduce myself here. My name is Iverson Lee. I'm a consultant speaker and instructor from Joe Yap Consulting Group. So in my daily work here, I use Chinese metaphysics such as BaZi, Feng Shui, Qimeng date selection to help my clients to help to achieve their goal, right? So, and we do like a one-to-one, so we get your charts ready and then we figure out how to solve problems. There's one part that I'm doing, and then the second part that I'm doing as well. I also teach this subject because some of you here, not only you want to know what to do, you want to learn the subject so you can actually use to help others as well. And some of you want to make a career out of that part, right? So actually I do this part here. I do a lot of consultation and I also do a lot of teaching as well. So today I would like to spend some time here to talk to all of you here, sharing certain information I feel that is important, especially in the new world we are in right now in the period 9. Okay, some of you are new, you might not know what is period 9 is all about. Period 9 is just a phase or a cycle, right, that we are in right now, and each cycle, and we use the term period 9, represents 20 years or 2 decades. So in every 20 years, there will be a big shift happening, and we are just in the beginning of period 9. So therefore, I think the first question we should ask ourselves is how do we able to benefit from this energy moving forward for the next 20 years. So this energy not only affecting you, you're also affecting the future you, right? So don't you think your future you also very important, right? Now, as we are talking right now, this is the present you, right? So do you also want to learn how to actually practice to actually learn how to protect the future you? How do you actually make sure your future you is happy? Have you guys think about this? Right, therefore, this is where the investment topic coming up, right? So, and today, and why I'm really doing this topic here, because I received a lot of requests from my students or some of my, from the tribe members from my Telegram. They say, Iverson, can you talk more about investments or not? Because in this field here, a lot of people talk about wealth, talk about career, talk about job, right, relationship or health. So, and some of you actually want to know investment, right? How many of you here interested to learn more about investment and you see the importance of actually do investment early? Type the word me here. Okay, very good. Yeah, so here I assume that the very reason you show up in this webinar here, I can safely assume that you already understand the importance of investment, right? So I'm not here to convince you why investment is important, right? I think all of you here know it. The only problem here is some of us haven't taken any action yet, right? Despite that, we know it's important. And why this is investment topic is so important at this era compared to the previous era or the previous period 8, because now we're in period 9. Because in period 9, we can no longer rely on job security anymore. Yeah, do you realize that? Right, in the whole world, and then a lot of retrenchment happening, downsizing, and if you keep thinking that I need to find a secure job so I can rely to for the rest of my life, I'm afraid you may end up in disappointment because this is not the way the world works anymore, right? And the pandemic sort of like speed things up, right? To here we are right now. So therefore, because I work with clients every single day, I get to see the real life problems. What kind of problem that prevailing at this point of time? And I discovered that a lot of time we're having issues because we don't have any preparation from the start, right? So we are not prepared, we are not sound financially, therefore a lot of problems actually coming up. So today, the whole objective of today's webinar is to help you or to help you to learn how do you gain unfair advantage in investment using BaZi. How many of you here want to learn this part here? And again, I'm not going to convince you why investing is important. I think all of you here know about this, right? We cannot rely on our job as a sole single of income. So in order to get started here, I want all of you here to get your BaZi chart ready, all right? So if you're someone new here, you might not know what is a BaZi chart is. Let me show you first on the screen right now. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you can see there's a link there, joeyup.com/BZ chart. So this is a link where you need to go to get your BaZi chart. Okay, and it's a free, you can plot as many charts as you want. You can plot your own chart, your family chart, that doesn't matter. I can plot as many charts as you want. You can plot your enemy chart as well. Okay, all right. So I think the coach also sent it in the link right now. You can see the link. All you need to do is click on it, and then you plot your chart. That's all you need to do. Okay, I think most of you already got the chart, yeah, especially when you attended webinar. If you're regular attendees here, you probably already know you should get your BaZi chart ready, right? But if you're a beginner, that's where you need to go. And this chart here, all you need to do is just to plot your date of birth and time of birth, and there you go. And you'll put in your gender, 3 informations only: your date of birth, your time of birth, and then your gender, right? Either you're male or female, and then you get the chart plotted out, and then that's where we're going to retrieve certain information from the chart about how do you make your life become better. Okay, that's the whole purpose of learning astrology. It's not about a prediction tool. It's not about to predict whether you're going to be rich or not, right? It's about how. It's about creating. Yeah, this is the whole purpose of learning Chinese astrology. So now, and once you got your chart ready right now, yeah, so if you haven't, yeah, in the process, it's fine, right? Yeah, you can do it right now. So let me just explain a little bit, what people normally ask me when they got their BaZi chart, right? They got a chart, and then I think the first question I receive a lot from be it from my Facebook or Telegram or sometimes face to face, is they're asking me, Iverson, according to my chart, my BaZi chart here, can I do investment or not? Okay, yeah, this is a question, as if like certain people are not suitable to do investment. Right, so I always tell them, yes, of course. Yeah, whether you can do investment or not is nothing to do with your chart. Right? I think everyone should do to learn how to do investment. Do you guys agree with this? Right? Just like someone asking you, right? Should I go to school or not? Is my BaZi chart suitable to go to school or not? Of course, right? You need to base on your BaZi chart because investment is a skill. It's something like you is for your own benefit. It's nothing to do with your BaZi chart, right? Your BaZi chart shouldn't instruct you what you do and what you shouldn't do, right? Don't let the chart overpower you. It's supposed to be the other way around, right? You're the one to decide what you want to do, and then you check the chart. How can the chart help you further in terms of providing strategy, right? Or maybe the right timing to execute certain tasks to achieve your goal. Are you guys clear on this? Yeah, I need to make this point really clear here because some people do ask me this such a question, like, can I do investment or not? I say, why not? And then also some people also ask a question like this. They say, according to my BaZi chart, someone told me before because my chart earth element is too much, I cannot invest in property. Even if I invest in one, I cannot put under my name. They ask me, is it true or not? I will say, yeah, some people really creating such story like this, and then they teach everyone. I think this is wrong. It is a wrong information. And normally my response to them is like this: if you're afraid to put the property under your name, why do you put under my name? Iverson Lee, right? I'm more than happy. Okay, so there are no such thing, right? So people creating those stuff up right? So, and I hope you actually know how to differentiate what is right, what is wrong, because the true essence of astrology, in order to change your life, is about taking action. Yeah, not about worrying all these little thing. Is a property under my name is better or under my wife's name is better? You know, all these trivial thing doesn't affect your outcome. Yeah, that one only create more fears to you. So therefore, if you look at all successful people, don't you think they think big? Right? All these little things they don't even care about what color of shirt you should wear, right? That one is not do nothing to change your destiny. Yeah, this part I need to actually make it clear from the start, because in this industry, a lot of people actually telling you all these trivial things, like, you know, what color of shirt you should wear, what kind of painting you should put on the wall, at your living room, you know, what are the items you should put in your bed, you know, to increase your love, or what is the room, the unit number. You want to buy an apartment, what is the unit number is right for you, right? Or a car plate number. All of this thing is up to you, right? It's your own life, it's your lifestyle. You choose whatever you want. All you need to do is just to do the important thing in your life, which is constitute roughly around 20%, so you can get the 80% results of your life, right? So the question here is, do you know this 20% or not, right? So if you know the 20%, then the rest of the time you can enjoy one, you know. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, so it's not about, you know, worry every single thing or missing corner. There's so many things if you learn Feng Shui, right? And then in your whole life, there's so many fear. And one thing, you forgot how to live already. How many of you here met someone like this? They're too obsessed in the art until a point that they forget how to live, how to enjoy life, how to notice the beauty in their surrounding. Yeah, in their mind, they're always about fear, about today is a bad day, you know, and then this is 5 yellow, this year I cannot touch. Yeah, if a cockroach actually there, you say, oh my God, is it activated the 5 yellow because there's a lizard or insects there? Some people actually have this fear, right? So I will tell them, don't worry about that part, right? That's not how astrology works. So then, how does it work then? So because if you want to learn about investment, or whatever subject, I think a lot of you here probably already learned some form of Chinese metaphysics before. So, and I would say that I want all of you here to learn it with a purpose, right? Because a lot of time I discovered that a lot of people, they learn something just for distraction. How many of you here actually met someone like this? Their life is not so happy, or they don't find any improvement in life. They discover something, learn to new, and then they say, oh, I'm so excited. They just learn it for distraction. They hope that after learning, their life will become better. And after finish the whole program here, they say, hey, how come my life is still the same? Then what they do, or they discover that another program, a more advanced program, they say, oh, maybe the reason I'm not doing well because I haven't learned the advanced topic yet. Right? Then they go and learn, they chase the information. And after learn, they discover that life is still the same. Yeah, then look for even more advanced or masterclass information. Have you met someone like this? All right. So the whole cause here, or the reason here, is because it's not about the information is not useful. It's very useful, right? But a lot of time people learn it because they want to distract themselves with the actual reality they need to face, and they don't have a purpose of learning all those things. When you don't have purpose, you learn something for the sake of learning. You don't use it to apply into something, right? That's how you cannot actually progress your life further. So now, from now onwards, if you learn anything, not only just Chinese metaphysics, it could be anything, right, that you're going to learn. Yeah, so I hope you to learn it not just because you got distracted. Yeah, you just get distracted from your own real problems you're facing right now. It could be wealth related issues, it could be health, it could be relationship, whatsoever it is. I want to learn it with a purpose. So every time you learn something, must be in service of something. All right, it could be want to solve certain debt problems, there must be action, right? After you learn Feng Shui, it's not about just make your Feng Shui is good already, you're activating the star, then suddenly your life become good. It has to be purposeful, right? There must be step-by-step follow with different action. So do you guys understand so far, right? So now, what you want to apply Chinese metaphysics for must be in service of something. And I've been told that a lot of people told me, hey, Iverson, I don't know what to do. I'm lost. How many of you here are lost right now? You're feeling a bit lost. It's not really lost, maybe a little bit, you know, you don't know sort of like what to do. The life is same, every day seems like the same to you, lack of energy, right? And let me tell you one good thing. Actually, it's a good news, you know, the moment you're feeling lost, actually it's not a bad thing, which means that you got time. You got time to think, right? You just don't know what to do, you know. Yeah, some people, they don't even have time to rest. They need to continue to do one, you know. They want no options. You guys actually see the beauty of it? Whenever someone say, I'm lost, I don't know what to do, they're still deciding, which means that they have a lot of time to spare. All right? Yeah, so I think that is a good news. So the cool thing here is you don't need to know what to do to get ahead. All right? Yeah, so let me repeat this again. You don't need to know what to do specifically to get ahead in life. There are a lot of time people actually stop doing anything just because they don't know what to do. They think that they need to figure out what to do first in order to get ahead. How many of you here do that? Right? You're stopping yourself because I don't know what to do. I'm lost. That's why I do nothing. Right? These two things, no relationship. One, you know, right? Is it possible someone to get ahead in life without knowing what to do first? They just do something. Is it possible? I've seen a lot of them, right? If you see a lot of successful people, of course, on a retrospective way of doing an interview, of course, they say, oh, from the start, I already have a vision. But actually, when the real story here is when they are young, before they have anything else, they just do. Yeah, sometimes they just don't know what is lying ahead of them, right? And so therefore, I want you, whenever you feel lost, I said, tap your back, say that, hey, it's a good thing. You have time, the luxury of time to choose what to do. And then don't let, because you don't know what to do, stop you from getting ahead, right? Because what if you are lost right now? Maybe you can think about one thing, learn about how to protect your future. Okay, you might not know what to do yet. Can you start with this intention or not? Right? So learn how to protect your future. So let me ask you one question here. If your future is protected, let's say right now your future is secure, you're protected, you don't even need to worry about work anymore. Do you really bother about you must find out what to do? Right? A real question here. If you already know your future is protected, is it don't know what to do bothering you? Does that bother you anymore? No. Right? Yeah, no problem. Right? So therefore, a lot of people keep telling every one of us here, you must have clarity, you must have what to do. Don't relax a little bit, right? So we just, I think if you don't know what to do, the next step here is to ask yourself, I would say, what can I do right now to protect the future me? Right? So if you have a time travel pod or machine right now to travel 10 years ahead in the future, who are the kind of person you're going to meet? Is it someone healthier, someone happy, right? Or someone full of life, and then a lot of enjoy a great lifestyle, right? So therefore, it's up to us to do right now to protect this part. So is this important or not? Really important. But the question here is, since it's so important, why we are not doing this? Yeah, everyone know what to do one, you know, but most of us don't do what we know. That is the problem, right? Yeah, most of the time people know what to do exactly. Even they don't know, they go to Google, they can search. There's so many ways they can do something. And why? Right? Why people know it's so important to protect the future about investment? Why people are still not doing it? So it's very simple. Yeah, because not so long ago, probably 100 years ago, someone actually shared this with us, the scripted life. Right? Which means that the scripted life means that most 95% of the people, their life is already scripted. Okay? All right. So, and the scripted life is not the BaZi. Yeah, some of you might think, right, oh, is it scripted by BaZi? No. The scripted life means that it doesn't matter what kind of BaZi you have, right? We are sort of like, our destiny sort of like scripted. If you watch your whole movie, 95% of it, as if like your life as in a movie form, most of the people is the same movie, right? Do you notice this pattern? Right? So let me tell you what is this pattern is. Yeah, in terms of, so there you go, right? So when we are young, we actually ask us to study hard to get a good grade, right? So why want to get a good grade? so you can get into maybe a better school, right? So, and because of that, you can get a better job, a great job even, not just only good, right? So why you want to get a good job, right? So you have stability, right? You can use, and if you got a promotion, then you can use it to buy a house and or a car, and then start a family, and then you just continue to work hard, and then hopefully by 65 years old, you retire. Does this script looks familiar to you? Okay, even though most of them, their path is different, but they end up the destiny almost the same, right? But the thing is like this, the irony thing is, who actually wrote this script? Someone before, right? They're telling so therefore one generation over one generation, we go through this until a point we accept this is the truth. We don't even question it. It becomes something unconscious. If anyone that actually don't follow this, we label this person is weird, right? Yeah, so I said, well, how come this person don't have a job, right? Don't even get married by the age of 35 years old, right? Something must be wrong with them, because the only thing that they do is they doesn't follow the script, right? The script. So that one is a 5% of the people, right? So, and about 95% of people, they actually are following this script. And do you think if you follow the script that I showed just now, those people normally will be happy? Maybe. I would say if you're talking about this script here, I would say 50 years ago, or even 30 years ago, yeah, this is a perfect recipe to success, right? But this scripted life no longer working in the current world. Do you guys agree? Right. So if you look at the job security right now, yeah, even you're getting a good grade doesn't guarantee you get a great job, or even a job in the first place, right? Even if you get a job, yeah, you might just out of job anytime, right? The world changing so fast, right? So you might not, so you say, oh, I can get until retired. A lot of people, they already broke before they retire. They cannot even retire because they still need money to work. Yeah, retirement means death to them, right? So therefore, I want you to look at this part here differently, which means that if you still follow this script in life, or maybe that's how you coach your children, then they're very likely they will go through a lot of pain. Right? Because I noticed that a lot of people right now, due to the heavy commitment, they cannot stop working. Yeah, because I'm a consultant, right? I talk to so many people. Yeah, there's a group of people I get to talk to, my client. They're around 40 to 50s, right? And then they come to me, they are very devastated because they told me, Iverson, right? I need to report to someone that is 20 years younger than me, and this person disrespect me. Then I always tell them, right, why not you resign? Say, I cannot, Iverson, I'm too expensive. Looking at my age right now, you know, if someone want to hire me, I have certain salary bracket already, right? So, and not a lot of company willing to hire me. They maybe from that salary, they're able to hire 2 or 3 more people, younger people that can do the same thing or even better than me, right? So they cannot resign, but they feel not happy because why they cannot resign? Because they still need money, right? They need to actually, they have a heavy commitment, need to support their kids in the college. They're still on the lot of loans, right? And then they ask me, Iverson, how can I fix this? Right? If you are the consultant, you are seeing all these stuff people. I think the first thing when I actually heard all this story, I telling myself one thing, I say, Iverson, I don't want to be like them in the near future. Yeah, when I started consulting that time, this is the first message I tell myself, because I already know that most of the people, when the moment they hit this kind of range, like 40, 50 years old, yeah, some people call this midlife crisis. Yeah, so I see that I don't want to be like that, right? So because they ask me, right, how can you help me? So it's not so easy, because the mistake doesn't happen at that point of time. Agree? Of course, you can change, but it takes harder time. But I would say it's unnecessary if you already knew it from the start. You think about this, right? If this person 20 years ago already planted a seed, right? 20 years ago, maybe about investing, don't you think his life would be very different? He will live differently right now, rather than just work hard chasing for the next paycheck? Yes, right? So you see, if you ask me, how do I change his life instantaneously? Your destiny cannot change instantaneously, because they are accumulation of 20 years of the thing you didn't do, right? So you cannot change your destiny overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. Agree? Right? But to a lot of you here, you still have ahead of time, a lot of time ahead of you right now, right? So therefore, you can actually make a lot of changes. So whenever we're talking about the terms of investing, we are talking about planting a seed, right? And those clients, yeah, that actually talking to me, they are not bad people. They are great people. They're responsible workers. They're the great fathers. They're great mother. You know, they pay all the taxes. They go to work on time. You know, everything you talk about, all the great employee standard, they are all great people, hardworking people, right? So the thing here is, it's not their fault, because no one, even in the education system, no one teaching about investing. You guys agree? Right? When you're actually attending the primary or secondary school, what are the whole purpose of those education system? To teach you to become what? A good worker, right? If you study hard, yeah, then you can become a great worker, and then hopefully you get promotion, right? So therefore, if you think about this, if from the younger age in the school, they're teaching about the importance of investing, or even the method or how to manage your cash flow investing, I believe that a lot of people already retired by the age of 30 years old. And that will be a big problem to the boss, right? Because yeah, it's finding hard to hire workers anymore, right? So therefore, we are not trained that way. So I think of course, it's not their fault. That's how the society works. But I think if we know this, we're aware of this, we can actually carve a different path, so we can actually enjoy life sooner, instead of actually being like the group of people I told just now, right? It's not their fault, but it's sad to see them ended up that way. Okay, so now, and therefore, and from that point onwards, I actually asking myself, if I don't want to be like them in the future, what should I do differently right now? Yeah, what kind of seed I should plant right now to create a different tree in the near future? Instead of a rotten tree, or how can I create a healthy tree with a lot of fruits, a strong tree, right? If I want to relate the tree as a financial foundation, right? I want a strong tree. So what can I do? Don't you think I need to actually start to think about investment? So therefore, because that time I'm learning BaZi, I'm learning Feng Shui, right? So I start to actually thinking, how do I use this system here to help me on my investment, right? That is when my perspective about life changed. Yeah, a lot of people always tell me, Iverson, all you need to do is just to hard work. Yes, if you're young, you can work very hard, right? But as you get older, your energy decreases. Agree? Right? You cannot work that hard anymore, right? So you need to learn how to leverage. So therefore, I actually go into this. And I actually look at, I search for courses, you know, about all these things. And I discover some people, they actually teach a course like Feng Shui or BaZi, and then they tell you, yeah, if I actually learn this, you can predict lottery number. Yeah, some people make such claim. And let me tell you, this thing is not true, right? So don't ever, you know, if someone actually tell you, hey, if I teach you this, then I can help you to predict the next lottery number. So let me tell you, it's fake. Yeah, Chinese metaphysics system or any metaphysics system not supposed or not designed to do it that way, right? You think about this, if someone able to predict every single lottery number, do you think they even bother to teach you? Right? Yeah, so yeah, I hope you don't think that this is like a gambling thing. You know, you think about this. If someone know exactly each lottery number will come up tomorrow, they're not, why they bother to teach you? Right? So therefore, I want you to have a more realistic way of thinking about this. So, and to some extent, people keep also asking, if I want to invest in stock, can you tell me when is the peak? Can you predict the number to me? Right? That one also like lottery number, right? You want to predict something, a number, like what is the highest number, what is the bottom? That one is nothing more than gambling, right? So there are no such thing able to actually decipher what is the bottom or the top of the price, right? So, but now, then if there's no such thing, why some people actually make a claim like this? Yeah, because there are a lot of people like to believe. this thing exists, right? Especially someone, that they don't like to work hard and then they like something fast, right? And it's a lot. I get to actually have a chance to meet someone because my friend told me, he said, Iverson, you should meet this guy. This guy claimed that he can able to predict lottery number, right? So even stocks, right? And then he predict when it's up, when it's down. I say, wow, it's cool, right? Then I asked my friend, what did he predicted? Yeah. Then my friend told me, this guy actually, when I asked him about a stock, and then he told me the stock will went up tomorrow. And then true enough, tomorrow the stock is went up. And my friend is so impressed. And then I asked him, right? I asked my friend, how easy, I mean, what is the chances of this person able to guess it right? Now, how hard it is? It's either up or down, right? Even you ask someone who don't know, right? If it's up, then what this person will do, will claim all the credit, right? Say, oh, because I predicted this one is going up, right? So, and that's the thing, right? Even you simply ask anyone, maybe your parents who don't know investing, you ask them to pick either up or down. There's a 50 chances of this person going to guess it correct, right? That's not enough. How do you know someone is really good? Is when this person able to predict consistently. Guys, do you agree? Right? One time could be a fluke shot, right? So if you're able to predict every single stock consistently down to the T, then I respect you. Okay. But this thing doesn't exist in the first place, right? So I get to meet this guy, actually, this teacher here, and then I sit down and I say, wow, I heard that you can really do this magic. Then he told me, I can sense that he had a lot of pride, and then sitting down, then I asked him one question, right? Okay, so if you know exactly when the stock is up and down, right? Why not, right? You actually sell off all the assets you have and then just bet on that single stock. True or not? Right? If you're so sure can predict 100% what's going to happen, right? Why not you sell everything? Why are you still teaching people? Right? And they asked him how much you invest. He told me 2,000. I still remember. Oh my God. Right? If you knew his work, you believe on it, then why not do it all? So I know that there's a lot of people in this industry. They keep actually giving all this information out, right? To actually, it's a trap to some desperate people. So let me tell from the start, there's no such thing. Okay, if there's such thing, right? The Forbes top 100 billionaires are dominated by this group of people already. And it doesn't happen yet. Not even close. Okay, are you guys okay? I want to clear this part up first, right? So if you're okay, type the word yes. You have to understand this part. All right, cool. So now, then how? The next question here is how can we use Chinese metaphysics to help us on investment? So, and from there, I actually discovered there's a similarity, or there will be a point where the Chinese metaphysics are correlated with investment, is both of them actually going in a cycle, because Chinese metaphysics study about energy cycle. The cycle is cyclic, right? So it's cyclical, and then it's actually going through up and down in a phase, right? So there's a phases whenever we talk about energy. So if you look at stocks, if you invest in stock, don't you think the stock market also going through cycles? How many investors is here? Right? There always a rise, there's a peak, and then there's a dip, there's a bottom up. Right? The cycle could be very short cycle if you're doing trading, or it could be extend to a year or even 10-year cycles, right? So therefore, now I say, hey, that is the dots here I can connect with our investment. So, and a lot of time investors make mistake is when they fail to recognize that market also work in a cycle, because that time maybe they're too enjoying success, they make a lot of money, and then they forgot to pay attention, or to expect there's an end of certain price or the market phase. Agree? Right? Because when we're in a winning streak here, we sort of like, overlook on certain fundamentals. Or not, right? So, and now, I actually, from that point onwards, I actually study a lot of energy cycles. We are not here predicting stocks, right? So stock is your individual love, your ability, right? But we can use the energy to sort of like so-called understand the cycle of the market. How many of you here actually attended my wealth prophecy in this year? How many of you actually attended that part? Wow, so many of you. Okay. All right, nice. Yeah, so okay, type the word. Okay, so this is the program, the Wealth Prophecy for 2022 is a bonus program for those who attended my Millionaire program, right? It's not for sale, that one. That is a bonus program, only for those students. And you still remember we use the barter chart. We try to predict the energy cycle. Yeah, not stocks, right? It's the energy cycles of the stock market. Right, so if you attended that one, you'll realize that I mentioned the first month is April. There will be a start change of the energy. How many of you here still remember that? Yeah. So I want those people who attended. Yeah, I'm not here to tell you. I say that. I want you to tell me. Do you still remember April? And you know what is happening on April? Okay, let me show you. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, of course, you know the SP 500 suffered the worst in April in 52 years. Okay, it's a historically bad month, depends the index losses for that year. Okay, and how about this? The market dive in April. Okay, did I predicted every single stock? No, I don't. I cannot claim that I do that. I don't, because the stock is not meant to be predicted. There's so many influence that. But when you study energy cycle, you can tell roughly how the market goes, and then you see this thing happening, right? For those who attended the program, right? Did you actually took action or not? A month before, right? You know that there will be a dip or there'll be a correction, right? Do you buy more or do you actually start selling? As you know, my principle, I didn't preach which stock you should buy because it depends on your knowledge. But I just tell you overall the energy, right? Yeah, some people do, some people don't. Right? So if you know something is going down, right? If you're holding something, don't you think it's a great time to look for something to sell? Or if I want to buy something, don't you think you need to wait? Because April, that time is the time you see there'll be some changes happening, right? So you can buy more. So therefore, some of you attended, some of you took action, some of you didn't, right? Yeah, so therefore, this is how first way I can use Chinese metaphysics to actually help me on my investment, right? And again, I'm telling you, right, it doesn't mean you'll be win every single time. I'm telling you right from here, even we use Chinese metaphysics, yeah, sometimes, of course, due to greed or overlook on something, we still lose money. But what we want to do here is want to make, in long run, we still able to win, right? It's still there'll be up and down, but hopefully it will be an upward trend. Yeah, that's what we're going to use that. Okay, all right, cool. So, and some of you attended, right? April is the first phase here. And in Chinese metaphysics, some of you just now also asked, right, what system I use to do this? This one, I'm using BaZi. I'm using the BaZi, the month pillar. And then I compare this with the annual chart, right? The annual chart of 2022. So we see certain sign or certain indicator might actually showing there'll be a decline or there'll be a correction. Okay, so, and there are four, if you want to understand the system here, there are four systems, yeah, that I use to do this, right? So for my own investment, okay, let me show you the four systems that I'm using here. Okay, yeah, this is the one. BaZi, just now we talk about BaZi, there'll be Qigong, there'll be Feng Shui, there'll be Ying. So BaZi is, if you want to understand yourself, right? You want to understand what kind of investor you are. Don't you realize that all of us have different risk appetite? Some of you can take bigger risks, some of you didn't, right? So don't you think you should invest on something that's suitable for you, that align to your nature, to your personality, to your investor profile, right? So if you want to actually get started, I would say that BaZi is where you want to learn all about the self. So if you're an investor, you know that the most important part in investing is not your knowledge, right? It's not even about the opportunities. It's the investor himself or herself, right? Her emotional stage. or state or where he is right now, right? So that person is determined whether you can win in long term or not, right? If you're someone every time you actually invest on something and then in moment it go down a little bit, then you cannot sleep at night. Obviously, that style might not be very suitable for you. There may be a different style, right? Because in investing, there are so many asset classes that there's a bond, there's an equity, there's an index fund, right? So therefore, don't you think it's important for us to know, right, which is more suited to our profile, so we don't need to fight against ourselves every single day? I have a friend, yeah, if the moment he bought a stock and then the moment the price just like down like 0.5, he cannot sleep. He said, Iverson, so I sell this or not, everything, you're freaking out. Then, of course, my advice to him is not whether to sell or buy. My advice to him is, but this kind of investment style is not suitable for you, right? Try something else. Yeah, so how do you know what style your profile is? Then your partner is sort of like telling you what is your investor DNA is. Is it important? Yes, it's very important, right? So always, yeah, whenever we're talking about investing, it's not about which stock to choose. It's about, are you the right investor in the first place or not? Yeah, it's about the mindset. And I discovered one thing is, I think the last few years, if you actually invested in Bitcoin, right, you actually can make a lot of money. Yeah, because I would say the price actually just shoot up, skyrocket high. And one of my friends actually make quite a lot of money, few millions. Okay, and he make it through, I think some of it due with luck. And he feels so happy. And fast forward a few years after right now, he lose everything. Okay, he lose everything. Yeah, so sometime, right? And even more, because he even borrow money to further invest. Sometime winning, yeah, is the bad thing that ever could happen to you, right? Because sometimes winning for someone that is not educated in investing, it might actually tell them that, you know, they cannot lose. They feel that, right? They feel that, okay, if I'm able to make millions, I'm able to make millions, more millions in the near future, right? So sometimes success is a lousy teacher because he won the first pot of gold is through luck. It's not through skill. It's not through a plan, right? So in long run, think about what will happen, right? The moment the luck runs out, there will be a problem, right? And the worst part here is he don't even think he's the problem. He continued to actually borrow money and now he's in deep financial trouble. Okay, so do you realize this? I know a lot of people keep thinking what stock to buy, what stock to buy. No, that one is second part, right? That one is about your own ability first. Are you a right person? Because winning one time doesn't mean you're a great investor. Do you guys agree? Right? It's in long run. Even you think about like Warren Buffett, right? Do you think he actually make profit on every investment he make? No, right? But he made the right one. Yeah, the big one that actually make the difference. So in the long run, you see that his wealth keep increase. Okay, all right. So don't you think BaZi is important that way? Yes, it is. Okay, so now the second one here is achievement. Yeah, if you look at achievement, some of you learn achievement is about enhance your intuition. Okay, so intuition. Do you want more intuition? Yeah, so yes, you can learn a lot of investment course. This one is really important. Yeah, we cannot disregard that. If you want to learn, there are a lot of great investment guru out there. You should learn that part. That one is about information. It could be technical knowledge and all those parts. But there are one part you cannot learn: intuition. Agree? Right? Sometimes there's a gut feeling telling you, hey, yeah, this is something that may be good. It might not make sense to you, or even it actually against all the best practice of investment. But you feel that, hey, I think I can be able to beat against the odds and I'm going to win. How many of you have this feeling before and you really want it? Right, I've been through some of it. Okay, so my style of investing, yeah, I divided into two parts, right? 80% of my investment fund is educated. Educated means I know what I'm investing. How many of you here agree that, you know, the 80% you must know what you're investing? It is very important. That's what Warren Buffett say, right? You must know what you're investing. So another 20% is the money I can, is for just to bet against my, or to see how my luck is doing or test my intuition. So the remaining 20% is even I lost everything from the 20%, I'm okay with it. Right? Because I don't even make an educated judgment on it. It's just for fun. Like maybe my friend tell me, hey, Iverson, you should invest on this. Yeah, and you don't know what kind of investment, but you still invest. But I only use the 20% of the money. Right? If I lose everything, it's fine for me. So and it's therefore then how do you know your intuition is good, right? So and how do I do that is like this. I use human to increase my intuition. I still remember this is happened in 2020, around 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago, and that time I'm still remember I'm teaching a class called Period 9: The Rise of Phoenix. How many of you attended that one? It sounds like Harry Potter movie, right? Actually, it's a course. It's not a movie. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that one is 2 years ago. But the recent one I teach is a Period 9 masterclass, right? So before that, I actually designed a theme to it. It's the rise of a phoenix. So tell me, what is a phoenix? What is the symbol of a phoenix? Right? What is the symbol of a phoenix? Yeah, it's a bird, right? So that time, because I'm using human to enhance my intuition, somehow that I have a feeling or a gut feeling telling me a bird. I go to look for investment that have a bird. So tell me, what kind of tech companies that have a bird there? Yes, it's rising from the ashes, right? So tell me, among all the tech companies, which one, the first symbol that you can relate to is a bird? Okay, of course, it's not Apple. Okay, a lot of you use Twitter. Okay, so that time I say, hey, since there's an intuition there, because I use human to train it for a while, and I say, hey, why not I doing this? And again, yeah, this is not something I advise people to do. Why? You know, this is used from my 20% fund. You know what is the 20% fund? It's uneducated fund. Are you guys clear on this? Yeah, so I'm not asking you to do this because this one is, there are no backing to this. It's heavily rely on intuition. So I only invest on the money I afford to lose, and then I will not lose my sleep over this. So how about the 80% of my investment fund? No, I cannot touch that fund. Yeah, you just think about bird, then I buy something. Yeah, this is rather stupid, right? So the 80% of my fund is educated. I leave it untouched. I don't use it for something I know, right? So I check my fund, the 20%. Yeah, this is the uneducated fund or for luck or intuition fund. Then I invested on Twitter. Yeah, in this one is on I think roughly around June 2020, right? Invested on that. That time is about US dollar, about 30 US dollar, right? So after a year, moving forward then, and then after a year after that, then the time I no longer teaching Rise of Phoenix, right? I changed the Period 9 program to Awaken Your Period 9 and Period 9 Masterclass. A year after that, then I say, hey, it's a time to sell, right? Intuition coming in because I'm no longer holding the Phoenix anymore. And in around roughly a year apart, like July 2021, if I remember that correctly, and then I checked the price is around 70 US dollar. How about it? I bought at $30 US dollar, and then now it's 70 US dollar of the price point. Is it a good? I would say it's not the best, the great ever, but I say it's pretty good, right? From 30 to 70. Yeah, so yeah, this is, I said, wow, yeah, it's good, right? So I saw it. Of course, the peak that time is 72, right? Then my friend asked me, how come you don't sell at 72, you sell at 70? And I tell my friend, I'm not God, you know. How do I know it go to 72? Do you think I will sell at 70 if I know it's 72? But at least I make quite okay, right? Am I right? Right? I tell my friend, hey, I'm not God, all right? You don't expect me to know where's the top. Right? So that time I sell at 70, I'm still very happy. Right? So, but some people, they feel not happy. Oh, because it's 72, I sell at 70, I'm not happy. No, right? I think money sometimes give other people to make money also, right? Don't be so selfish, Colonel, right? If you're able to hit your, I would say, your profit margin or your target profit, I think it's perfectly fine. How many of you here actually agree with the way I see things? Right? Not only you want to make profit, right? Also give other people a chance to make profit as well. Yeah, you already make, I think, just happy, celebrate. So I sold it at, I still remember in around July 2021, around 20. Okay. So, and today, while I'm preparing for today's webinar, I take a look at the Twitter stock again today. Today is around 40 US dollar. Roughly, yeah, because you know there's a recent dip, right? Yeah. So that one I say, hey, okay, yeah, it's great. Yeah, sometimes intuition serve me that way. That one using Chiman, right? But the thing here is intuition, you cannot demand it. Sometimes it just come. How many of you here want to use Chiman to enhance your intuition? Yeah, one of my friends is a bit different. Instead of using intuition to pick the right stocks, he used Chiman to pick the right girls. What my friend, he say, I was like, can you teach me using Chiman? And because he always end up with the wrong girl. Okay, so it's all also about intuition, right? So we just use it for different purposes. So again, I'm telling you, this is not the right way of investing, right? The reason I can do this because I already plan out 20% of my investment fund to this. Are you guys okay? Right? I don't want you to misunderstood it and then you tell everyone, Iverson, teach me how to use intuition for investment. No, I won't recommend you to do that. Right? But for me, I already expected I'm going to lose all the 20%. Then only I'm willing to do this. Are you guys okay? Right? Because I'm a Chinese metaphysics practitioner, I like to explore with the tools, the system. So this is sort of like a buffer I can take, right? The losses I can take. Okay, cool. So now the next part here, if you're using the third thing here is about Feng Shui. How many of you here want more luck? Yeah, sometimes luck is important, right? Because the Feng Shui is able to support, is a house energy. So if your house energy is constantly positive, so you will think better as an investor, right? And you sort of like attract, you be in the right place at the right time. Sometimes it'll be helpful, right? So yes, this is something that I would say that it'd be good, right? It's about luck creation. You can study investment, that's one part, but the luck part you cannot study, right? You can be the best investor in terms of knowledge, right? What kind of investment, the trend, everything, you know, all the jargons, right? You work in the Wall Street probably, right? For the last 20 years. Yes, that is very important, right? But if you have the luck, you're unstoppable. Agree? Right? So yes, sometimes we need to have this kind of luck. Then if you use Feng Shui well, you can actually enhance that part. Right? Luck doesn't mean that every time you buy, you also make money. No, it just means that sometimes by odd coincidence, you might meet some people. Right, so like for me, there are few incidents. One of the incidents I can remember vividly is when I actually got called for a lunch that I don't even intend to go. And after you sit down with this person got a call from a friend, right? Then he say, "Excuse me, Iverson, I need to take this call." I say, "All right, go ahead," right? And then during his call, he talked about something very interesting about stocks, right? So after he actually hang off, and then I asked my friend, right, who are you talking to? He said, "Oh no, my relatives actually recommend a stock for me to buy." Okay, I heard about it. I say, "Hey, can I buy some or not?" He said, "No problem." And then after I bought it like 3 or 4 months, and then the time it actually increased around from I think 2 to 3 times. Okay, that one is purely luck. Yeah, because I don't even know what stock I'm buying that time. Yeah, this is so therefore sometime we can actually came across this, then you're gonna do that. But the story doesn't end there, you know. So I really bought it, right? The price, I still remember, is from 40 cent increase until $1.10. Okay, and then then one day my friend asked me for a supper, and then went to a supper, and then we talked about other topics, and then suddenly my friend told me, "Iverson, I think you should sell the stocks already." And then I asked him why. Do you have some insider news? He said no. He didn't say anything. He said no. Okay, there's nothing, but just sell. So I just sell. And then after I sold it, and the thing here is happened like this. It actually went down. I think a week after that, it went down to 20 or 10 cents. And it never increased since then. Okay, so that part sometimes is fun to have some luck as well, right? Yeah, there must be a reason why this person turning up. And this is the person that asked me to sell, and he himself doesn't sell it. That's the irony thing of it. Because when I sold it, right, I asked him, right, "Hey, thank you for your suggestion, right? Do you sell it as well? How much money you make?" He told me I didn't sell. Yeah, I also cannot understand why I didn't sell, right? But yet he asked me to sell. Somehow it just happened. Okay, all right. So one more system that I use as well is this Yi Jing. How many of you here heard about Yi Jing before? Yi? Okay, all right, nice. If you heard about Yi Jing before, okay, so Yi Jing is about advisory. Okay, so do you like a second opinion on something about your finding about the stocks or your analysis about certain stocks? Yeah, so you get some second opinion. Yeah, would be good, right? At least you can refer to it to gain more confidence or to see a different perspective or what area you forgot to check, right? So sometimes Eugene able to offer this form of advice. So I call this like a second opinion of something. So these are the system that I actually use for it. So today, I'm going to focus more into BaZi, right? BaZi is the one that I'm going to talk about today because there's so many things, right? I cannot finish all everything. So I need to pick one topic here. We talk about BaZi for investment. So whenever we talk about BaZi, to succeed in anything in life, everything actually works in a system. There's a principles. Agree? There's a principles of happiness. There's a principles of health, right? There's a principles of loving relationships, right? There's a law. Do you guys agree? So when we learn a subject, we would like to learn the principles of it. All right? Okay. So now, in BaZi, there are certain principles of investment, right? So let me share with you a couple of this. So, and the first one here I would like to introduce here is this, the God of investment. How many of you here want to be the God of investment? The God. All right. So, and that is an element. Yeah, there's an element in the chart that actually governs this. Right? So let me show you. If you look at your BaZi, the God of investment is indirect resource. Okay, take a look at your BaZi right now. Can you find this IR resides in your chart or not? Okay, it's a time to take out your BaZi chart. Let me share with you a sample BaZi chart first. Okay, all right. So let me show you. Okay, let's say, right, just a sample chart here. So I want you to see the IR. So in this chart here, is there IR? No, right? So where do you look for? You look for here, and then you look for here. Got any IR now? All right. So now, for easier, it's easier for you. You look at the bottom here. It's actually the same thing. That this one is more easy for you to locate it. You look for IR means indirect resource. Right? You see this indirect resource is 0. Okay. So how many of you here, you check easier bottom first, right? Because sometimes if you're a beginner, you might not know. You just scroll down, go to this section called the 10 profiles, and then you look for indirect resource. Some of you are 0. So for this person is 0. So which means that this one is not is not wired as a God of wealth. Well, sorry, God of investment. All right. Okay. So this is a quick check for you. If it's 0, you don't need bother to check on top, because if it's 0 means that there will be non-existent of this indirect wealth here. All right. Okay. So let's look at another one. Okay, for this person here, indirect resource. Okay, this one is cool, 29%. Not bad. All right. Okay, so let's look at a few more here. So just to give you an example here. Okay, how about this? Indirect resource. 100%. Okay, this person, is it contains the element of the God of investment or not? A lot, right? Okay, now check your chart. How many you have? How many you have? 99%, all right. 60 is equally good if you have it. Yeah, better than someone say 165. Oh my God, I don't know how do you got this. Yeah, but it's supposed to be good. Maximum is 100%, all right? Okay, cool. Now, so it's IR. Why I say IR? Because it's indirect resource. Okay. All right, so for this person have it, right? So if you check on the chart here, it also have the same thing as well, right? You see an indirect resource here? You see an indirect resource here? You see an indirect resource here? Okay, you have 3 in the chart. Okay, so now why we call this God of investment? Because IR element represent their ability to think long term. Okay, ability to think long term. So don't you think to be a great investor, you must think long term rather than react to current situation? Right? If you don't think long term means that you spend whatever you like right now without any regard about your future well-being. Right? Because you focus on living in the moment. Right? Your favorite philosophy is YOLO. You only live once. So you spend every single thing. Right? But if an investor, they think long term, they know, okay, I can enjoy some right now, but also need to prepare, right? So the IR, the characteristic here is because you want to know, right, why IR represent the God of investment. So it's because they're able to think long term, right? So if you have IR, I would say 60% above is pretty good. Yeah, somehow you think about your future, right? You have some plan. You might not even execute everything yet, but you actually think about it, which is good. Okay, think about future invest is not only just about ability to invest, right? Do you actually ask yourself, right, based on the daily things that you do right now, who will you become in the next 5 years? Have this occurred in your thoughts? Asking yourself, based on what I'm doing on daily basis right now, where is this leading me to the next 5 years? If I repeat to do everything I'm doing right now, who will I become in 5 years' time? You already know. You think about this, right? If every day right now you're eating junk food, you're eating burgers, you keep telling everyone, okay, one day I'm going to actually go through detox or be healthy. But you've been talking about that since the last 10 years, right? If you continue to do like this, right? So can you actually, as a human, we have the capacity to actually anticipate the future by observing on our current behavior, right? Don't you think this question alone is a life-changing question? Who will I become in the next 5 years if I continue to do the things I'm doing right now? Don't you think this is important? Once in a while, we should ask ourselves this question. Because sometimes we are too busy, right? We don't even bother to ask, right? There's so many things to do. There's a deadline, right? The children is crying right now. I got a commitment to make, right? So, but if we're able to step aside for a while, maybe for like 5 minutes, and then you ask yourself this question, don't you think your life will change? Because you gain a better perspective. What are you doing right now? Is it the right direction or not? If it's not, you're caught into a cycle about what? Yeah, you look busy, but you're not going anywhere. All right? Okay, that is the IR characteristic. And another part about IR is so about the ability. Somehow they have these innate abilities to understanding the market activities or the current trends. So don't you think as an investor, this is a great addition to your skills? A great investor, they understand the trend, the current trends, the market growth, that one is important, right? Okay. And then the IR also have this ability to own their mistakes and then learn not to repeat those again. Yeah. So, and finally, right, IR also have this ability to think on their own feet, which means that they do what they think is right. They are not affected by the current trend. Like a lot of people buying right now, a lot of people selling right now, they don't even bother because they have their own thinking. So based on the characteristic I showed just now, don't you think if you're able to adopt this character, you somehow become a better investor already? Right? Okay, so that is a IR. Right? So if you ask me, hey, Iverson, what is considered a good investment? Good investment is when you invest on something, you have a plan that with a defined period of time for that particular investment. For example, like if you buy, let's say I invested in Bitcoin. I have a plan that I plan to maybe I want to increase by 20% profit within 1 year. That is a plan. But most of the people, they do what? I buy first. Right? Whenever the price increase, then I think first whether I want to sell or not, right? So you're at that point, you're reactive. You don't even know your end goal. That's why in the end, you always end up, I would say 90% you end up losing because you don't have a definite time to cut off your profit. Guys agree? How many of you here experienced this before? You buy something, actually you're making profit, but you don't have a definite time frame. You're not clear how much profit you want to make, and you put there long enough, and then eventually the stock go down due to the market correction and the cycle, right? Yeah, it's not because they are bad. So a lot of time is not when you buy the stock. Do you guys agree? A lot of people ask, should I buy, should I buy? It's not about your profit doesn't make the moment you're buying, right? It's when you sell, and then you have the courage to do it without looking back. How many of you, after you sold your stocks, you take the money, you keep looking at the stock. Hopefully the stock will go down so you feel better that you make a good decision. Okay, right? So now, if you're IR, then no, you say, if I make my own profit, I sell it, I'm happy. Right? So this is sort of like this IR characteristic here. Okay, so now, those people that have IR, right? Can I share with you one more layer to read the chart? One more layer, not very deep, though not very technical, but one more layer here. Okay, so now, if you have this, right, this IR could appear anywhere in your chart. If some of you have this IR element, the best one will be in the year and month, or the month pillar, right? How do I know the year and month? The year is here, the month is here, right? So this is the year pillar, and then this is the month pillar. So for this person, it's appear in the year and month. Why is the year and month? Because the year represents the market, right? The month represents wealth producing activities. So we like it in the month and year. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the year represents the market. This one represents your ability to generate more wealth by understanding business. This one understand the market. This will understand the business. So this two is good if you have it here. If you have it in the day and hour, because this is internal, this one just maybe means you're more spiritual. Okay. All right. So this is the difference here. Okay. So we like this to consider having this God of investment element. Ideally, it should be in the year and month. All right. Either one will do. You don't need to have both. Is considered good, right? So if you're not, then if you're in the day and hour, then that one, because the IR was spiritual thing, because internally, even the day and in the hour is represent yourself. So you tend to be more spiritual, and then you probably have a lot of interest in Chinese metaphysics. Okay, if your IR is in the day, and because you feel a lot, you can feel energy even, and all these things. Okay, so do you like this piece of information? Is it true, right? It doesn't reflect yourself, right? Yeah, and all this information here is not in the classic, because in the old days, there are no investment, right? In the old days, how do they make money, right? Your work or you save money to become rich, right? So all this thing here is through research. I do a sort of thing here, I do myself, right? And from there, I compile so I can share with you today. Okay, yeah, this is why, because in the new world, the way we make money is very different. In the old days, how they save money, they dig a hole and then they put all the gold inside, right? And then they bury it, right? So it's a different way of making money. Do you like this piece of information? Okay, all right, cool. Now, let me talk to some of you here that don't have this indirect wealth element, right? Say, oh my God, I don't have this God of investment. Does it mean I cannot do investment? No, it's not, right? So let's check the luck pillar first. Right, so let me share with you again. Maybe your luck pillar got this. Okay, let's say, okay, I need to select a younger one. Give me a moment. Why all the charts is very old one? Now, I just use this. Okay, all right. So now, if I look at this chart here, this is the luck pillar, right? If let's say you say I don't have, so do you see it in here or not? Your lock pillar. Do you see your lock pillar? IR, it could be at the top or it could be at the bottom. Okay, if a lock pillar also don't have, all right, yeah, then it's a bit, okay, then you're allowed to cry first, okay, for now. Okay, some of you have it, right? So if you have it in your luck pillar, so which means that these are the time you need to learn and master investment. You suddenly realize the importance of investing, and you are not, these are the right timing for you to activate it. Okay? All right, how many of you here have it in the luck pillar right now? I want to talk to you. Okay? Okay, if you have it there, okay, I see so many me here. So which means that yeah, there's no other better time right now to learn and master this part. Okay, all right, cool. So it's nice. Now, how many of you here is still IR-less? You still don't have this IR in the chart. So I address this group of people here is IR-less. Okay, so if you don't have this, okay, can I share with you one more piece of good news for you? But if you don't have this, right, it's no more, right? There's no backup for you. Okay, one more, one last chance. Okay, all right, cool. So if you don't have this, probably you have DR, not direct resource, in your chart. Do you have an indirect resource in your chart? Direct resource, okay. So you can substitute the IR for the DR. Happy now? It's also the god of investment. And that's the reason I put it smaller in font just now, because the IR are more powerful, but you got the DR also consider very good. Okay? Happy now? If you don't have it in the year chart, look at your luck pillar. If you have it now, I want you to activate this. Right? Because you only do investment when you can. It's not when you had to. When you had to means that it's too late. All right. So if some of you also don't have, then you need to continue to listen. Yeah, this is only one way. Okay. All right. Cool. So now let's look one chart here. Okay, check this out. For this person, let's see whether this person got IR or not. Guys, do this with me right now. Do you have IR in the chart? No. Yeah, but how about the other element? Beside IR, DR, right? Okay, DR. DR is here. DR is here. DR is here. And DR also here. So tell me, which pillar we are more interested in when we talk about investment, or actually study the market trend, the growth of the market? Yes. So does this guy DR located in the year and month? Yes, right? So is this person, the investment element, powerful? Yes, it is. Okay. So this guy here, this is the Ray Dalio. Have you heard about this guy? He's a billionaire and also start the Bridgewater, right? The hedge fund, he managed it. Yeah, there's a person. And the earlier chart you're looking at is the IR. That one is Warren Buffett chart. The earlier one. Okay, let me see whether I still have this. This one. This one here is IR in the month, IR in the year. Right, this is Warren Buffett chart. So this, when we look at investment, we don't look at wealth element. All right, we look at the resource element. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, there's a lot more, right? So because I already can show you so much at one point of time. There are a lot of things you can actually learn from investing. Okay, so there's so many topics here I can talk about. I actually prepared more than I can share with you today. What you want to learn? Yeah, what you want to learn? Okay, do you want to learn a little bit about crypto or not? All right, crypto. Okay, all right. So let me show you this part here. Old days, they don't have cryptocurrency. Okay, so now I am telling you, yeah, cryptocurrency is one of the hottest, especially in period 9, is one of the hottest investment or asset class that people talk about, right? And of course, you know that crypto is very volatile, right? Up and down. So it depends on your investment style as well. Like for me, I buy and hold. Right? It's just like I bought Bitcoin in 2017, right? I don't even look at it that time, whether it's up or down. After a few years, then I take a look at that again, right? So that is my style. So some of you are trading crypto as well. So different people have different so-called appetite and style. So for me is buy and hold. So now is a lot. As you see recently, of course there'll be a dip, right? You see that there are a lot of crypto actually the price is dropping, especially some of you talk about what the Luna, right? Yeah, and even the list from Binance, on and off, right? So that one. So therefore, in some of people asking me, right, how do I actually see, right, see the crypto element or the crypto nature in a barter chart, right? Or maybe do I have more affinity with crypto or compared to other asset classes or not, right? So now tell me, do you want to know this or not? Do you have more affinity with it? Okay, if I can share with you this one, would it be wonderful for you? Okay, all right, nice, nice, nice. Okay, so I'm I'm going to share with you is like this. Because this part you cannot refer from classic because they don't have it. Yeah, so I'm going to use my best judgment to tell you, yeah, which element I select for crypto. Okay. So now, first of all, when we look at the barter chart, in order for it to relate to something that is new, that is not in the classic, so we need to understand the nature. All right, we need to understand the nature of the crypto. So if you look at cryptocurrency, the whole engine or the platform are built on what? Blockchain, right? The nature. So if you look at blockchain, blockchain is a decentralized platform, right? It doesn't actually centralize on a central command. That's why a lot of banks don't like it because you cannot control all the data in a centralized. It's actually distributed, right? Everywhere. So therefore, it's about everywhere. So you cannot control, cannot even get a hold of it. So I'm going to use Clearwater to represent crypto. Okay, just Clearwater is a win, right? It's everywhere. You don't have a form. It's virtual, and it's not centralized, so we cannot control. So the element about freedom in the barter is represented by Clearwater. If you learn barter, you know, right? When we talk about freedom, this is the one. There's no governance, and some more is a miss. It's a virtual. It's distributed. Right? It's not centralized. Guys, make sense? Yeah. So this is how I look at it. I'm just sharing with you my opinion on this. So now, if you want to know, okay, all right. So how can I relate this with my barter chart? So when we look at investment, we look at the hour pillar. Okay, affinity with investment. So in your hour pillar, do you have this Clearwater or not? Either on top or the bottom. Do you have any yin water? If you discover this in there, so you sort of like you have affinity there, so you can understand this better. Sometimes you even have intuition on which one to pick. Without sometimes just relying by that, so you have all this. Okay. Wow, happy or not right now? Of course, there are so many techniques. I cannot afford to share everything here because it's too much. It took you another 5 hours. But one of the elements or one of the compliance to have is the fastest way to do this is in water. If you don't have this, it's fine. There are so many other techniques to use. But right now, let's take it quick, simple, and easy right now. Just look for the yin water here. All right. So you have it. This is a straightforward way to read the chart. There are multiple ways, but this I'm going to share with you this one only. Okay. All right. So this is the most direct approach, the more powerful approach of using it. If you have this, you have affinity. So, but some of you might think, if I have it, is it means that I must invest in crypto? No. Right? If you have it, doesn't mean you must use it. Let's say you're good in singing. Is it a must you want to become a singer? Guys, is it a must? No. If you don't like singing, don't care. Right? If you're good looking person, does it mean you must join the entertainment world as a celebrity? Is it a must? No. Right? So I want you to actually think your Barter chart doesn't instruct you to do anything. Right? The Barter chart just tells you, yeah, hey, yeah, you might aware this is an advantage for you. If you don't like it, it's fine. Okay? All right, do you understand this? Yeah, so what I'm sharing with you is a bit of puzzle of the metaphysics for investing. Yeah, we are just touching the tip of an iceberg. So far, do you guys enjoy this? Do you enjoy this sort of information sharing? Yeah, okay, all right. Nice. Okay, so, and some of you here told, I also saw some, wow, so many of you like it. I'm glad. So, and some of you just also asking how if you want to connect with me, how to do this. So you can actually go to here. Yeah, let me show you for a quick one. You can go to my Telegram channel. This is the link you can get connected to me. So where I could share information occasionally about Barter, achievement, and all those things in this here. But I think a lot of you here already joining this. Right, yeah, but some of you are new here. This is the link, right? Because some of you just now, I noticed you asked me, how can I get connected to you? I think most of you already got connected. If you haven't yet, install a Telegram app in your smartphone and then scan this QR code, you're able to join the community. All right, where I go share a lot of information about here. Okay. All right, so I saw some of you also asking, right? So if I don't have this yin water, is it means I cannot invest in crypto? No, you still can invest. All right, just that if you have a yin water, you have more affinity. But it's not only yin water, there are other combination as well, right? But now let's keep it simple, straightforward here. We just regard just yin water for now, can or not? Guys? Okay, so in order to learn more, I want to make this thing easy, light, and easy first. Okay, let's not do hung up on one simple aspect. Are you guys okay or not? All right. Yeah, this is not a class. This is a sharing. Yeah, this is not supposed to be spoon feeding you because this group here, there are some of you are very expert, some of you are new. Okay, guys. Okay or not, right? If you drill into one topic is too much, then you're not able to learn something else. Do you want to learn something more or not? Okay, good, good. So I want to share with you, just now we talked about the God of Wealth, and then we talk about the crypto part. So one part I want to share with you here is about the cycle breaker. This is, I would say, is the most important, yet is the most overlooked aspect when we read our Barter chart. Okay, the cycle breaker, remember earlier on we talked about metaphysics study about energy. Energy works in a cycle, right? So, and there's a phases, some is up and down. And if you're an investor, you also notice that the market actually works the same way, right? It's also go through a phases, a cycle, there'll be a correction, right? So, and therefore, in our Barter chart, the flow also the same, right? So there'll be a point. The cycle, the rhythm of our energy will be broken or changed to a different direction. Yeah, which means that the flow are interrupted. Okay, so and how do you want to know when is this happening? I want to take out your Barter chart right now. Yeah, take out your Barter chart. Let me just bring out some of the chart here. Let's see. Okay, let me share with you some of the okay. Let's say the cycle breaker of everyone will happen on the sixth luck pillar. The sixth. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so everyone will be different, right? So for this person, he will enter to this cycle breaker luck pillar in the age of 55. And this will continue for the next 10 years because each pillar governs a decade or 10 years. So now look at your chart. Everyone will be the same, will be on the sixth pillar, but the different part here is the age. Some of you is not 55. Some of you probably is 59. Right? So I want all of you here type in what is your cycle breaker age. Okay, some of you 58, 57, right? You see everyone is different, right? Okay, so why? Because once you hit this age here, I would say that is the changes of flow or the way thing works is no longer the way it used to be. Maybe all this while you gain support from your from the company. There are a lot of great people supportive. When you hit through this cycle, maybe all the people that support you might leave the company, or they work on something else, you know. So suddenly things is changing. Okay, so these are the time normally people will retire, right? And then they need to adjust to their new lifestyle post-retirement. So, and these are the part here. Or some of you have some resources now is disappear, or basically it means a big change happening, right? So, or maybe they have certain protection that you enjoy, right? Maybe your boss support you, and then that time your boss moved to somewhere else. Now you don't have the shield anymore. Okay, so therefore, yeah, let me explain. This is why you must learn investment, right? Because you must learn investment when you don't need the money. You guys agree? Right? When you need the money, then only you do investment is too late. Right? So now I'm just telling you the reason we prepare to plan our foundation or to strengthen our foundation right now is for us to actually make the cycle breaker period the most enjoyable period ever. Okay, that is the most enjoyable period. So some of you already in this period, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Big changes doesn't mean it's bad, but it's a huge change. So could be someone you see the comment box right now, right? Some of you already explained this. So could be that you're working in a company right now, the company might not need you anymore, or they change the thing, you need to adapt. So or maybe your income is decreased right now, you need to work on contract basis. Right? So these are the time that a lot of uncertainty happening, but you already pre-planned, right? It doesn't matter, even you lost your job, anything is fine for you, already planned. Which in fact, a lot of time, if you plan it well, this is the time you go for what? Holiday. You enjoy your life. So that's why from barter chart, they can tell you to plan better using, the time of your cycle breaker. Don't you think this piece of information alone will be helpful? Right? That's the reason we learn barter, right? For investment, because you're able to connect the dot looking forward. So the next question probably you need to ask yourself here is how many years you have before you hit the cycle breaker, the 10 years of a cycle breaker, right? So it's not about something to scary about, right? It's about you prepare. And that's why I keep asking people, hey, you should plan now. You start to invest when you don't need the money, when you still have the job. Because you think about this, right? When you still have the job, when you see your salary coming in, you will not worry anything, right? In your mind, you keep thinking, right? The money will still coming in, right? But actually it's not. You can lose your job anytime. Yeah, everything that you have right now can be disappear within seconds, agree? An accident can change that. Yeah, or some life-changing event, sickness, right? So therefore, you need to plan well. So how do you do this? I always tell everyone, right, while you're young, you work hard to make money. So this is my motto here, right? So I work hard, but I invest even harder. How many of you here like this? Like this model here? Okay, right? Yes, you should work hard. A lot of people think, oh, I just work smart, right? That way it's for lazy people. All people who work smart is because they work hard before. Yeah, I know some group of people that say don't work hard, work smart. These are lazy because they don't know how to work smart. You need to go through the work hard first, right? You don't spend your time perfecting your skill. Then only you can work smart. Agree? So right now, today's mantra to all of you here from now onwards, tell yourself every day, yes, I work hard to support myself and my family, but I invest even harder. You invest when you don't need the money yet. Okay, yeah, that is the thing here. So do you enjoy today information about investing using BaZi perspective? Yeah, we ever talk about Qigong or Feng Shui and Yijing, right? BaZi, we only touched the tip of an iceberg. So I'm glad that all of you here enjoy this, but it's something new, right? Yeah, I always believe that we should always progress ourselves, learn something new, and more importantly, applying it. And why people not applying it, because sometimes they think that investment is too difficult, they don't have the tools, right? So how many of you here would like to actually learn and acquire this skill by investing using the help of Chinese metaphysics? How many of you here like to do that? Okay, so I have a great news to share with all of you here. A lot of people ask me to teach investment course. Yeah, since 2017, and that time I always tell them, right, I need to do more research. I need to actually compile information. I want to test all these things on myself first, right? Before I can share with anyone. Otherwise, it will be very irresponsible to do that. Agree? Yeah, some of you is still here, I think. Yeah. Since 2017, some of you asking me, right? Hey, Iverson, you post on my messenger, say, when I'm going to teach this. So I say that I finally decided this are the year I'm ready and I'm going to teach this once. All right, how many of you here want to learn metaphysics perspective for investing? Okay, all right. For the technical investing, you can learn from all the gurus outside, right? That part you still want to learn, you got to learn, but I want to talk about from metaphysics point of view. Okay, nice. So may I present to you this one, right? What do you see on the screen right now? Looks familiar, right? It's Bitcoin. And the word Bitcoin here, the word B also could represent breakthrough. All right, so this is my new program. I would like to share with you. I'm so excited about this. And because due to all my compilation of the information, my experience, try and error, finally, I'm able to actually come up with something that everyone can use. Yeah, because one of my purpose or one of the reasons I teaching Chinese metaphysics, I always believe that, metaphysics art shouldn't be just reserved for the rich and famous. Agree? Right? Because in the old days, only the rich and famous that able to access this. I say this one should be available to a lot of people, right? That can learn. So once they learn it, they can help anyone, right? Anyone that want to help. So now, this one, I'm going to teach this on a live stream format. So you're going to learn this while you're online. And I see from the comment, I see that so many of you already enrolled. All right, thank you for that. Yeah, so if some of you are new here, you want to join this group of students together to learn this. So this date here will be on 6th and 7th of August 2022. So you can learn this while you're online. All right, so right at the comfort at your own home to do this. So, and let me explain to you the investment cost for this. This one would be US dollar 997 for this investment program. So if you're interested, let me show you how to get that. All right. So now what this program here is talking about, merging the two universe, the investment and Chinese metaphysics. How do we blend together? Right. So that is the point here. So the center point here. And what we're going to talk about in this program, primarily, we're going to talk about BaZi for investing. What you learned just now is some little part of this BaZi for investing. Do you like what you learned so far about BaZi? Right? Remember, BaZi is about understanding yourself, right? That's why I call this BaZi for investing for investor DNA. You want to know more about what is your investing profile, what is your DNA, right? This alone can be a whole program. right? But I decided I want to combine everything together, because how about achievement for investing? Remember we talked about we want to train our intuition to become more in tune with opportunities available, right? So that's why we call this eyes of the future. Do you like this or not? Okay, and how about this one? Feng Shui for investing. How do we enhance the luck and the life force? Yeah, don't you think luck is important? Yeah, it's important, right? Yeah, so we wouldn't complain if we get more of it, right? So that will be one of it. And finally, how about this? Advisory alert using Yijing for investing. Yeah, so this is the backbone of this program. I spend a lot of time doing research, and I believe that, you know, you can benefit from this. Okay, all right. So now, how do I link these four things together? And I'm going to actually relate this with also period 9 investment landscape. So there's a cryptocurrency, NFT, metaverse, and digital assets. How about that? I would say this would be the only kind of program out there able to provide this information from Chinese perspective way. Okay, do you like this? I know a lot of, how many of you here are new, you haven't joined yet, you want to enroll now? Yeah, let me see who you are. Okay, all right, nice. Wow, so many of you interested. Okay, so let me show the way. For this program here, you want to invest is 997. You're going to conduct this in a live class, but now we're teaching this online. Then instead of 997, so you can actually enroll this today only for the fraction of the cost, only 497, to learn about investment breakthrough program with the syllabus I told you just now. Okay, all right. So this is the link. Pay attention to the link here. This is the link you can actually grab the seats here. So, and now for this program here, if some of you here are interested to join today, to encourage you further, there'll be a bonus, right? Because a lot of people asking for period 9, and then they feel that they are not period 9 compliant, right? So if you enroll today, you're going to get this bonus. Period 9 compliant installation protocol using Qimeng. Do you want to install period 9 energy so you can actually tap to more period 9 opportunities or not? And because not all of us here are blessed with a chart that is period 9 compliant, right? Instead of actually see whether you have it or not, why not you do something about it? Do you like this? Period 9 compliant installation protocol. You want to be compliant with period 9. Okay, this is the extra bonus. Yeah, this program alone, if you want to actually subscribe, is 297, but you'll be free. Yeah, if you're part of this investment program. Okay, how many of you here like this period 9 installation program? Okay, nice. Okay, cool, right? So, and this one is using Qimeng. Some of you asking, yeah, because this is about installation. And then now, there's a link, you pay attention to the link, you can enroll right now, but to encourage you further, but this one is something special. Yeah, I want to extend something more to you, but this one, we try to limit the enrollment. So we're going to open the enrollment for the first 30 of tonight. If you actually manage to make it to the first 30 for today, you get another, yeah, did I mention another? Yes, another bonus, but this is limited. Is Iverson Insider Meetings. I'm going to talk about supercharge your BaZi using Yijing. So I'm going to teach you how to look at your BaZi from different perspectives. And this one, you're going to conduct in the month of June. Okay, it's coming soon. So when you grab this, right, this is the chance for you to get this here. Do you like this supercharge your BaZi using Yijing? I haven't taught this before. This is another bonus for you. Okay, so let me summarize this for you. So now, just now we talked about the investment breakthrough in period 9. This program is 2 days. The price is 997. And then you're going to get a bonus one about period 9 compliant installation protocol. And also now, if you're part of the first 30, you're going to get this supercharge your 八字 using Yijing. So in total investment here is 1,591. But if you enroll today, you get everything on above is just for 497. How about that? Yeah, do you like this or not? I'll say that, yeah, these are, some of you asked, right? Will you repeat this again? I don't think so, because I don't like to teach my program twice. If you miss it, you miss it. All right, so you decide on this. Okay, so before I want you to know this, right? This is the link here, joeyap.com/investment, right? Go there right now to grab your bonuses. And once then I'm going to see you on this coming August. But before that, on June, I'm going to see you on the supercharge your 八字 using Yijing. Okay, all right, cool. So now I want you to know that that is a statistic. Yeah, it's a very saddening statistic saying that, you know, 80% of senior citizens need to work or they're dependent on their children for survival. All right, don't let that be you. Okay, all right. So then you want to be the 5% of the people that do things differently right now. So, and there you go. This is the link for you. joeyap.com/investment, and then the price will be 497. You're going to get all of this here. Okay, all right, cool. So yeah, I think that could be the best package that you can consider for even for learning purposes, right? Maybe you're not ready to do investment right now. Hopefully throughout this program, it will inspire you to take the first step. Even you're not ready, I think that you're going to learn a lot, right? How to use 八字, Qimeng, Feng Shui, and Yijing for investment. And some of you are very new here. You might wondering, will you able to benefit from this? Of course, right? Because this program here is application, right? As long you have the desire to become better, yeah, this program you can learn this easily. You don't need to have a background in Chinese metaphysics for you to learn this. All right, so I would say yes. And okay, all right, so I'm looking at the comment here. Someone will say you already registered, good, right? I'm going to see you then, you know, so I'm good to, and some of you asked about the link, you just talk to the team here. There'll be a link. I already showed you just now. The link, you just click on the link, and then yeah, hopefully you're able to get into the first study, right? So then you can get the additional one as well. All right, that's great. Okay, so thank you. Yeah, thank you for all of you here for spending your time with me for the last 2 hours in this webinar. I'm truly enjoy your company and your presence here. And let me just get some feedback from you. Do you enjoy the information that you learned today? Is it something new? And does it give you a new perspective what to do next? Right? I hope that even though this is the only place you will talk to me, I hope you can actually go away with new information. Hope that you can use this information to take the first step, yeah, to protect your future. Okay, so, and I know that some of you actually asked about the payment thing, cannot make payment, all those things. Yeah, I would say bear for a while, because the moment too many people entering, there might be need to wait for a few seconds, there'll be a lag there, right? So talk to the team here to get more information. Shinmo is here, Penny is here. So talk to them, right? There are the team here waiting to help you further. So if you have any problems related to the enrollment, or you have furthermore questions, talk to Shinmo and Penny. Pay attention to the chat box right now. They already posted the link there. Do you see it there? There's a contact number. Talk to them, and they'll give you more information. So, and thank you, yeah, first for today. I hope you enjoy all the information, and share it to anyone that you would like to help. Yeah, then I know that, you know, my information doesn't stop just within this group. You're actually able to actually affect and help more people, yeah, that are within your own friend circle. Okay, so hope to see you guys again very soon, to be in this program, to be any other programs. Till then, take care, stay healthy. I'm Iverson Lee. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.